Welcome to the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast, the podcast where we make 5-minute decisions that can change your business, your relationships, and your life. Hey, this is Dean Soto, founder of Prosolum.com and freedomin5minutes.com. And we are here again with another Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast. Today's topic is time and money decisions. That and more coming up. All right. Wow. If you've been following the last few episodes, we've been having some dog issues. Issues that I did not expect as a new dog owner. It's not very fun. Oh, man. All right. I'll catch you up. Dog. We got a new dog. Cane Corso. Problem. Ears were cropped and did not heal properly. The breeder, for whatever reason, maybe some puppies licked him or something like that, there was these nasty things that were basically eating away at the dog's ears. And luckily we went and got the vet to check it out and got that all fixed up. Well, fast forward to today. Today we were going to pick up the pup, and lo and behold, we drive an hour to get to the vet, and they fixed her ears. It was fantastic. Her ears are great. Everything looks fantastic. All is well with those ears. They looked way better than they did before. However, and this is how the veterinarian, so we walk into the vet's office. It's a really old, so it's in Fresno, and it's interesting. It is a really highly recommended veterinarian office. And you walk in, first and foremost, where it's at is very just a rundown neighborhood. You would never really expect that. People here in the country would say, yeah, you need to go over here because it's basically the best veterinarian hospital there is. You just wouldn't expect by the way it looks. However, apparently it is, but you drive. It literally is like you feel like you're in Compton. You feel like you're in Compton, but in well, I'm sure there's great places in Compton and South Central LA, or South Los Angeles is what they call it now. But you're driving around and you see a lot of homeless people. Not that there's anything wrong with homeless people. those are the people that we need to help and so on, and give them opportunities and the like. But you're driving around and you see a lot of people you can tell it is a very run down, very poor city. I nearly passed the veterinarian's office because it has a sign on the door, literally just a little sign on the door that says veterinarian, in almost like a little industrial park. Had it not been for Google Maps saying, "Turton, you've arrived at your destination," I would have literally passed it. It's just this very old beige building, no windows, and you walk up, and as soon as you walk in, you hear the buzzer, it's a bang and bing bong, and even inside, you feel like you're in maybe the 1970s or 80s. It got the beige walls, the posters are faded, and you're talking about different animal medications and so on, but you can tell that they've been there for at least 5 to 10 years, if not more, because of how faded they are. And we get in there, and the vet, I don't know if she's a veterinarian or a nurse, but maybe she's a veterinarian. It's an old veterinarian guy and this nurse, very young nurse. She might be a veterinarian. I would imagine she has to be a veterinarian. So we'll just say 2 vets, old and young. Well, the young lady says, we'll be right with you. And so we wait. My daughter, one of my daughters and I are waiting there, and finally, a couple of other customers come walking out from behind from the door where the doctors work on the different animals and so on. They come out and they leave, and finally, the young veterinarian comes and sits down and says, "Well, Luna's ears look great, so that's a good thing. However," and there's a however. However, there are some other issues. Well, it turns out Luna has 4 different types of bacteria or diseases or whatever. One of which is called Giardia, in which can actually be transmitted to humans. And being that we have 7 kids here, that's not a very, very good disease to have. So, about $300, close to $300, it's $200, but this is actually going to get to the whole point of the whole story. So anyway, it's going to cost about $200 for all the meds and for treating it and everything like that. However, the big thing is, when you are dealing with Giardia, apparently with dogs, you cannot let your kids near the dog. That's 1. 2, wherever the dog sits or touches or whatever, you have to clean. So if they're on a couch or if they're on whatever it might be, it has to be cleaned, because it could be transferred from there to your kids and to whomever. On top of that, the dog has to stay in the crate for a week. In the garage, they have to go potty. Yes, I said potty. They have to go potty on concrete because it has to be bleached. Wherever the poo-poo comes out and hits the ground, it has to be bleached so as to kill this darn bacteria. You can't put it on your soil because there's no way to get rid of the bacteria in that way without hurting the environment or whatever. And there was a whole host of other stuff that I'm not going to mention. So one of the things that I knew deep down inside was going to happen was my wife, Marissa, co-host of this show from time to time, was going to freak out. She was going to flip out if I brought the dog home and all of that stuff had to be done. So what did I do? Well, first I asserted and I started asking questions, but one of the questions I asked was, well, can you keep her here for one more day? And you can tell they were kind of like, we don't want to. We're basically not a kennel. We're a veterinarian's office. And I said, well, look, I could tell by her face that that's the way it was going to go. And I said, well, look, I have a lot of kids. I have 7 kids. And to bring a dog home that could potentially communicate a disease to my children is pretty much a death knell for me with my wife. She will slap me upside the head. She will make my life a living hell if I do that. So, is there a way that you can keep the dog for at least one more day so we have time to put everything the way it should be so that we have minimal fuss? We can also prepare the kids and not have it to where we're in a mad rush to secure everything so that especially our littlest baby, we don't want our children, obviously, to get this disease. And from what I can tell, it's not that great of a disease. Not that any diseases are great, but it's a pain in the butt. And so that means more doctor bills. So the whole point is this. One, by the way, she said yes, fine, and it was $65. And she said but it's going to be $65. But to me, I'm looking at it going, $65? I'll do that 10 times over if I could, because I do not want to. One, I have stuff to do. I have work. I cannot go home and then kill my entire day today by bringing a dog home. But the amount that I am worth per hour is way more than $65 an hour, or $65. So, as I say humbly, so I without hesitation, I said, okay, cool, not pool, cool, let's do it. And so, without hesitation, I said $65, no problem. And then on top of that, it was about $200 for the rest of the stuff. So we've already spent about $2,000 on this dang dog, which is not that bad because Cane Corsos or King Corsos, however you personally pronounce it, they run anywhere between $1,500. Usually, they're more along the $2,500 to $3,500 range, especially for somebody who's been available to, especially if the dog's able to be in show, which this one is. Well, that $65 saved my entire day. It saved my wife's entire day. It helped us to not be super duper stressed. I was able to talk with prospects today, no problem. And even though to most people, I shouldn't say most people, but a lot of people will say to themselves, well, you could have spent that money on, $65. You could have saved that money and just gone and put the crate in the garage and done whatever. No, this is peace of mind. This is buying time. Time is way more important than money. Okay. Yes, obviously you don't want to spend $6,500 in order to save a day. That's not necessarily feasible unless you know you're going to make $30,000 that day from a prospect or something like that. But $65 in this case, no brainer whatsoever. No brainer. And so one of the things that we have to guard against, especially in making decisions, is making decisions based on money. I'm not saying cost or how expensive something is, but on money. We are taught, at least in America, in the United States of America, we are taught to save money. Not to invest money, but to save money. As Robert Kiyosaki says, savers are losers. Savers are losers. And it's true. The time value of money, money spent today, or money that the money that you have or that you spend today is more valuable than the money you have or spend tomorrow. So this is not necessarily about what is more important, time or money. This episode, this whole story is meant to help you to at least consider the possibility that you have, and I have, we all have, at least in the United States, a specific habit and mindset with money. We would rather save $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $100 than to have peace of mind. than to have time to make other decisions that could potentially grow your money, grow your wealth as well. This is why you see so many people when they're in business, they'll go and run Facebook ads. And they'll spend $100 on Facebook ads. Nothing happens. Oh, doesn't work. Facebook doesn't work for my business. Doesn't work. Yep. I boosted a post. I boosted a post about about my with a picture of me and my wife at my dental office, and I didn't get any prospects whatsoever. This obviously doesn't work. Well, it doesn't. In order to run paid ads, you need to be spending a lot of money testing. It's just the way it is. You spend money here and you invest it, and a lot of the times you lose it, so that you find where the goals are. The gold is, and where the wells are that have water, that have gold, that have different demographics that work with your business and different demographics that don't. When I was doing Facebook ads for Dream Dropshipping in one of my businesses a while back, there were a lot of interests and demographics that just did not work. I spent a lot of money on stuff that didn't work. However, it allowed me to find what did work, and my ads ended up being profitable. For every $5,000 I would spend, I would get thousands of leads, and then on top of that, I would net probably about, which isn't great, but it's for the front line. For I basically was able to get a net about 1,000 to 1,500, which is great. That is great. You're basically getting leads for free, or getting paid for leads at that particular point in time when you're running things like that. So here's the point, is that I want you to notice, this is what I want you to I just want you to notice when something about money comes up that you weren't quite expecting. Is your habit to make a decision to invest that in order to free up your time, free up your stress, free up whatever it is, to invest in your family, to invest in your wife or your spouse or whatever's peace of mind and well-being? Or is it to save that money and then just grind it out? Just see what happens. Just tough it out. Tough it out. Because I can tell you right now, I would be stressed out on this podcast if I had a dog in the garage right now who I just basically had to clean everything in the house in order to even have the dog in there. I would be stressed out on this podcast. I might not even done this podcast for today. What is your natural tendency when it comes to money decisions? What is that tendency? If it's to grind it out and to save that $10, in future episodes, we're going to talk about why that is not necessarily the best idea, which I've kind of alluded to today, but it'll actually help you make better decisions if you learn how to change these habits tomorrow. All right, so this is Dean Soto. I want you to notice that one thing before our next podcast. This is Dean Soto with freedomin5minutes.com. Go check it out. Go to freedomin5minutes.com. Get some secret episodes there that are not published anywhere. Awesome episodes. And you can also subscribe to the podcast there. And we're also going to have some daily emails that are going to be launching soon. So, all right. I'll see you in the next Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast.